Hello traders, welcome back to another video. Today guys, it's Monday and I will be doing for you a breakdown of the whole trading day. So for me, the trading day is finished. I took all the trades that I had to take and now I'm just reviewing all of them to see how the day went, and I will be doing this for you as well guys, so you can check it out. I will be starting with Euro USD, the first trade that I was able to catch on London session. And once I opened the chart and open Euro USD, I was already aware that we are in a down movement because we saw the price rejecting from this resistance, and we printed this very strong impulsive move to the downside, breaking some structure in here, and we have a little bit of correction. And I was pretty sure that after this correction was finished, and we probably would have been breaking to the downside. Why? I'm just going with the flow. I think the price before going to the upside needs to recharge on key areas, and my key area was this demand zone down here. So I was expecting the price a push, a little correction, and then down to this demand zone before maybe going higher. Okay, so here we were a little bit in the middle of nowhere, so I was expecting a little bit more downside move today. Let me show you also how I was able to catch a trade right here before London session. I will be going to the 5 minutes guys in order to do this and show you the session breaks. So I typically consider trading maximum 30 minutes, 1 hour before the London Open. So the London Open, as you can see, it's here, so I would be considering trades around here. Okay, this is about 1 hour, 2 hours before. Okay, from here I would start analyzing the market and look for potential setups. Now I will not trade anything in here, for example, because these are all equal highs of the Asian session. So once the price opens, we always have the risk that on London session the price takes out those highs and then continues in the direction that you were thinking of. But in this case I took the trade even though we did not have that breakout to the upside, simply because we had some really nice breaks of structure to the downside. Because if I go on a 1 minute, and you guys can see that just before London Open we have some really interesting price action. That from these highs you can see we take out some highs here, we print some really interesting supply areas like this one, and then we have this one as well, and then we have this one as well. I probably should have traded this one because it's perfect time to enter a trade in my opinion, but I was not in front of my desk, so I was not able to take this trade. But I just followed the price and I saw the breakout of this lows, so this previous low with this move to the downside, and from A to B I just waiting for the price to go back to this supply, this new supply area, and I just took a trade right there. So very simple analysis. Just wait for the price to go back into this order block and supply zone like this. After a really nice break of structure, we have our main bias to go down to that demand zone. So this was the trade, almost zero, draw down ahead like a 2 pip stop loss or something like this, and I closed at 1 to 4, so it was about here. Honestly, looking at it right now, I should have kept the trade because, as you can see, it would have been double the risk reward. It was probably 108 if I kept my original target of this demand zone. But it doesn't really matter, because as long as I keep respecting the rules that I have in my trading plan and keep my risk reward higher than 3 and 4 on average, I'm good with it. I didn't take any trade after this one. I just waited for the price to go into this demand zone that I just showed you guys, so this one, because as I said before, I was expecting the price to reach this key zone, and after this zone I was expecting a push higher. So probably that I don't trade. If you've seen my previous videos, I don't trade on the 30 minutes. So I don't analyze the market here and take a trade in here. I usually look at key areas and then drop to a lower time frame like the 5, 3, 1 minute in order to find a setup. So I'll drop to the 1 minute, and you can see that now we are in this area of demand. So this would be my main demand zone, okay? And I would start looking for some price action in order to take a trade. So I saw the price printing some really interesting price action in here. Once I saw it, let me delete this first. Okay, once I saw it taking some liquidity below this area and entering this demand zone, okay, I did not take a trade because we had the news, and right here it's 2 p.m. and 2:30, like here, we had the news, a very strong news. So I decided to stay out from the market until the news was released. Probably I made a mistake, I don't know. I'm just following my plan, guys, so don't judge me because of that. But this would have been a pretty nice trade. I hope some of you took it, but it was a really good trade. But it doesn't matter because, you know, I know the price gives always other opportunities. So if my plan says that if you are very close to a news release, which is quite important, try to avoid the setup. Okay, so I decided to avoid the setup. It went in my direction, but it could easily go against me, so I'm good with it. I also had another setup in here. I shared on my Instagram. We've had a really nice trade in here. If you check it, you can see we have a push higher, breaking some structure, forming this zone of liquidity, acceleration. Then we break these lows and we go into our demand zone. As you can see, this is our whole demand zone, and this was another beautiful trade. We can see the wick happened just on the news release. So of course, based on my trading plan, I don't trade this, so it was a no trade for me, even though the analysis was really nice. Unfortunately, you know, it's always like this. Once you miss some setups, the next one is always a stop loss. That's what happened with me, and I took a stop loss right here because after we saw the price breaking structure to the upside, we have this low, this high, higher low, higher high, and we saw the price going back into this support. I was expecting a little bit of manipulation to the downside. We saw that manipulation. The price opened, went in my direction, and then it just collapsed. So I was not even able to put break even because it was just a 101, 1.5, so not really good risk reward to put the stop loss at break even. And so this was a stop loss. After two really nice setups that I missed because of the news, I took a stop loss, but you know, I stayed calm. I reanalyzed the market, and I was expecting that the price could have gone a little bit lower because remember, we are in that big 30-minute demand zone. Okay, so of course you try to find some setups on the 1 minute, but you also have to remember that this whole zone is a demand area. So here the price can go higher. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you take a stop loss on the 1 minute, you can still look for setups. And basically this was the setup right here that I was able to take. So I recognized this, as I said before, as equal lows. We take liquidity below, we start breaking highs and printing higher lows, and I saw this very strong acceleration. So if you check my the latest video in my YouTube channel, guys, you can check it out. I talked about this acceleration. Once we see the price doing like this accelerations, we have a ton of liquidity sitting above this because retail traders tend to trade these trend lines. So once you see the price doing like this, a lot of retail traders are probably trying to sell because they see the price going to the downside like this. But what happens? The price doesn't. It touches a level of strong demand. You can see now I have this strong demand marked up, and I was expecting the price to still go higher, and I bought right after the stop loss. Not just because I was angry because I took a stop loss, guys, but as you can see, I bought right after stop loss because my plan was still in place, and I was still happy to take a trade because my risk is managed. And even if it was another stop loss, I'm still good with it because I can lose 2 trades in a row. I'm not gonna blow my account. Okay, and as you can see, I had almost zero drawdown because I opened the trade as soon as it was going higher and waking up. I opened the chart, the trade, and it started going to the upside. And you can see I marked this supply zone right here because I was a little bit scared of this one, and especially this one right here. So this was my original target up here, but you know, I decided to close at 105 because I just took a stop loss, and 105 after a stop loss and many trades that you missed during the day, it's really nice to bank and just close the day. Okay, so this was your USD. It was very nice, very nice chart. Fortunately, it would have been much better, but I was not able to take many setups. I took a stop loss, and yeah, that's it. Now let's go to GBP JPY, guys. As you can see, I took a trade right here because I saw the price taking some liquidity here above this London session high with this pre-New York open. We have this push to the upside, taking some liquidity and leaving this very interesting area of supply. This is our all supply area, and I took a trade right there. As you can see, the price went in my direction, found some support in here, went back above. I printed a lower high, so I was still happy because we were also able to break below this support. but you know, the price kept going higher and higher and higher until it took me out at break even, because in this case I put the stop loss at break even, because as you can see the risk reward was already quite high, so I would never, you know, consider taking a loss after being up like this. So on GBP JPY, just a break-even trade, nothing more. Yeah, maybe I could have tried, after seeing this breakout to the upside, a trade, a buy trade like this. So if we keep seeing take out some liquidity, you form a new low, new high, higher low, higher high, you can expect the price to go into the demand zone and buy. But you know, we were too high. I don't like to do things like this, so if I take a stop loss, I just you know, let it there, let it sit a little bit, and think about it the next day. So this was GJ. Let's have a look at GBP USD. It was really nice as well. We have some really interesting price action in here. I didn't take this trade again because of the news, and I didn't take this trade right here because it was at the same time as Euro USD. So if I try to go long on Euro USD and GBP USD, they are very similar, and I usually try to pick up one of those, the best setup that I can see. And in my opinion, Euro USD was better. I usually take trades more on Euro USD than GBP USD, so I recognize the setup is better in there and decided to trade that because I like it more. But as you can see, the setup was pretty nice in here as well. We have a really nice rejection from our demand zone. We go higher, we break some structure, we wait and see the price going back into our new demand zone, creating a new higher low, and you can see that all of the targets would have been met for a really nice risk reward. The trade would have been probably something like this. Boom, with the stop loss below the lows, previous highs you can see already 103, and then the extensions with the 104, 105. This was GBP USD, guys. Very nice. Unfortunately, I did not take this, but let me know, guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you want to see more about breakdowns of the trades and all of these types of analysis, to show you guys how I react on the market and all of these things. As always, guys, remember to like the video, subscribe, comment, follow me on Instagram, and see you in the next one.